This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Welcome, Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarket's podcast pioneer with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Welcome, everyone. Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio, and Luke Murray. Hey, Luke.
Hey, Carm. How you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. You started BMW. You got a thing up behind you. It says BMW behind you. Motorsports.
It does. That is my toolbox from back in the day when I was actively working on cars 24/7. Well, it felt like 24/7.
Wow. That's some of the stuff that I have here in the back of the studio. Some of my longtime memories. That's the box that started it all?
That's the box. Yeah. Every mechanic's goal is to one day put that box in their home garage, right?
Well, you started your career as an apprentice in an independent Porsche and BMW shop in Santa Barbara. What a great resume. You've always had a passion for teaching. And right now, you're manager, I'm sure you're not right now, but your current status is the manager of customer training at WTI Advance?
Correct. Yeah. So
Wow.
the training program at WTI, CTI plus WTI under the Advanced Professional umbrella. And so, yeah, I oversee all of our European brand technical training, BMW, Mercedes, what have you, all the WTI classes. So I help manage that program. Taught BMW classes myself up until last year, at which point I stepped aside from teaching at least that subject. Now I oversee the technical training.
Good for you. We just put up a little graphic, ASCCA.com/training conference. You're here to talk about the 3-day conference that's going on out in CA, California. How cool is that?
Yeah.
ASCCA's. In fact, I remember you telling me that a couple of years ago, you started out small. I think it was a 1-dayer, and now you're up to a 3-dayer.
That is correct. Yeah. So it'll be a full day and a half of actual training, but the conference itself, you would say, is 3 days, right? So Friday night, we have a sort of a reception cocktail hour as people arrive, and then a full day of training on Saturday. And then Saturday evening, we're doing something I'm really excited about, and that's a fundraiser for the ASCEF. So that's the Automotive Service Council Education Foundation, which raises money for youth scholarships. Typically, our largest fundraiser is, Cars for Causes donations. So shops or consumers that just don't feel like fixing their car can donate it to charity, and it gets sold at auction, and that money all goes towards youth scholarships for students wanting to get into this industry and help offset their education costs. So
great overview on that, and so important. How is the fundraiser going to work? Is it any kind of blackjack tables or something like that?
We are doing a blind auction, so we are accepting donations from anyone that would like to contribute for items to be bid on. And during that blind auction, we have a cornhole tournament going on, which is pretty cool. I've been practicing with my own kids in the backyard playing cornhole. I think one of the moments I'm most proud of over this summer is I finally understand how the scoring works in that game. I always just tossed the beanbag and relied on my
other people,
players telling me whether or not I was ahead or behind.
Don't you have to get 21 exactly, right?
Yeah, that's one of the ways to play. I think that's the standard, is you get 21 exactly. If you go over, I think you reset to 10 or something like that.
Cornhole Championship or tournament at ASCCA. So, you're here to talk about September 8th through the 10th, 2023. Yes. There's still plenty of time to sign up if you're out from California. In fact, anyone in North America can get themselves a ticket and sign up and get there, because, it's kind of a California show, but it's more regional than anything.
Definitely. And you know what, Carm? I'm not even going to limit it to North America. If you're listening in from overseas, anywhere you want, this is an inclusive event. So obviously it's easier if you live in California for travel reasons. And
we do have a worldwide audience. So very cool.
True.
The Crown Plaza, Costa Mesa. Looks like a really nice place. So you're also part of the Education and Training Committee at ASCCA, which qualifies you to be here to talk about this thing, because you've probably done a ton of work to pull this off.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've been involved with the ASCCA since my early days in the industry. As an apprentice, the shop I was at was a member of the Barbara chapter. And I attended meetings. That's how I got to know the automotive community beyond just the shop I worked in, which was a really cool experience at an early age. And I think earlier than most individuals in this industry would learn about the size of the industry itself, right? That it's not just, hey, it's not a job. You're part of something bigger. And so I was fortunate enough to work for an employee, a shop owner, Joe Schneider in Santa Barbara, who invited everyone in the staff to every chapter meeting. So once a month, I would go and have dinner with a bunch of other shop owners in Santa Barbara and felt like I was part of a community. And so that was my first introduction to ASCCA. And then many years later, as my own career path shifted and changed, and I started to get involved in these organizations, I had the opportunity to come back and give back, pay it forward to ASCCA, sitting on a committee which led to chairing the Education, Training, and Information Committee, who is largely responsible, along with other obvious members in the organization, for putting this event on. So last year was the first year we did it, and it's more than twice as big this year
Wow.
than last year.
Hey, it's no secret. We're facing a technician shortage, and Napa Auto Care has a solution with the Napa Auto Care Apprentice Program. The program was pioneered by one of our own. Pete McNeil and Master Technician Jake Sorensen from McNeil's Auto Care in Sandy, Utah, realized that the problem of not having technicians available for hire was not going to solve itself and decided to take action and look at a different audience of individuals available for hire. A focus was put on younger individuals with the right passion, desire, and attitude to work in the automotive repair industry. Jake and Pete sought after these individuals and developed a technician apprentice program to give them the training needed to become a successful technician in today's world. The Napa Auto Care Apprentice Program includes a comprehensive 9-stage curriculum that includes a variety of types of training, and they are classroom training videos exclusive to the apprentice program. Now, these videos provide in-depth training from a successful master technician. Also, Autotech classes with instructor-led courses offered through Napa Autotech and Autotech e-learning. This web-based e-learning is designed to target specific training topics. And finally, hands-on learning. The apprentice will apply the skills gained from the classroom training videos, Autotech instructor-led training, and Autotech e-learnings in the shop with the guidance of a mentor. The apprentice program curriculum is competency-based, meaning an apprentice can move through each stage at a pace that best suits them. Most apprentices complete the program within 2 years. Upon completion, apprentices will have earned ASE G1, A4, A5, and AC certifications, adding industry validation to the skills an apprentice acquires. Look, having an apprentice in your shop will ultimately benefit your bottom line as they advance through the program. And in most cases, as the apprentice develops their skill set producing billable hours, you'll begin to see a growth in your gross profit by stage 5. One of the largest barriers to entry for individuals looking to enter the automotive repair industry is the cost of tools. Now, keep your apprentice motivated with an apprentice toolkit. Now, Napa Auto Care has worked with our supplying partners to offer an exclusive comprehensive tool set, including a 4-drawer tool cart for all registered apprentices. Hey, to learn more, members can visit member.napaautocare.com. We need training. When you think about the number of training events that are going on around the country, and a lot of them this fall, I mean, I could count 5, maybe 6 of them on my hands for the fall. The really neat thing about them is, there's a few East Coast, there's a bunch West Coast. They're regionals. And as much as they are international, it allows you not to have to get on a plane. In many cases, you can close the shop and get there. I mean, one day, close it on a Friday, leave, get there on a Thursday night. Spend a couple of $1,000s on your people and walk away smarter than ever because you've got both a management and a technical track.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about being there for WTI. Are you traveling as crazy as you used to?
It's ramping back up again. Obviously during COVID, we all stopped training and we got very well at this virtual environment and invested in microphones and things like that. So we're in that world. But now, obviously, we're back to in-person training and being on the road, and travel is certainly ramping back up for myself, not to teach anymore, which was the case in the past. I was traveling, and I would say that at the height of my personal training career, which was just before COVID, I was on the road probably every other weekend teaching classes. And now I probably travel once a month now, so still a
Okay.
lot, but it's more in a supportive role and an administrative
Sure.
role.
I get it. So when you sit down and you're faced with this challenge of putting the ASCCA program on, do you reach out to people you know in the industry? Do you listen to the membership? Are you keeping your ear to the ground as to what's going on? I mean, a lot of great topics. Love the topics, both technical and management.
Mhm.
How do you guys flush that out?
Oh, well, as you had mentioned, a big part of it is listening, right? It's listening to the member base of ASCCA in particular for this event, reaching out to those that will be in attendance and those that are taking the classes and wanting to know what topics, do you need to be more successful as a shop? And so I, of course, can rest on the laurels of my own experience, say, this is what shops need. But in reality, we're serving a member base, right? A group of shop owners, and we want to know, what do you need? Because I can guess what people need, and it would be a very well-educated guess. But so that's first and foremost. You're absolutely right. We talk to the membership base of ASCCA. We say, what topics are you interested? What topics do you need to be successful? Where do you find yourselves falling short? So after last year's event, we learned that we needed some more introductory technical content. So we added a whole separate technical track that's focused on entry level and intermediate technical content and topics to go along with an advanced technical track. And then on the flip side, as far as business management training goes, what do shops need? What do shop owners need? Shop managers need to allow their businesses to thrive, right? To take it to that next level. So everything from service advisor training to marketing are probably the two most common
Yeah.
topics there. Yeah.
Oh, huge today.
Yeah.
Automotive electrical from ADAS, tactical diagnostic series. Wow. I mean, there's no doubt that even if you're not well into some of these topics, you can take a class a second time after a couple of years and Luke
Yeah.
probably learn 10 things that you thought
Absolutely.
you knew or didn't know, or you walked away saying the importance of repetitive training. And I'm not saying that you want to go to the same class every year, but to cover something new, because I know guys like you, Luke, they're constantly updating the curriculum. You're constantly doing new case studies. You're constantly finding new and better ways to do things that you cannot rely on anything you may have taken 2 years ago. Just go and take it again and walk away saying, I thought I
Oh,
knew what I was doing.
100%. You're totally right, Carm. I mean, whether it's the same topic being taught by a different instructor, which gives you a new perspective and some different tips, or as you said, the same class from the same instructor a year or two later is radically different. I remember that a lot from training. I would have a class, I would have it on the road, and I might return back to a city and have a customer come up and say, hey, I took this class a year and a half ago when you were here. And I say, oh, that's great. Good to see you again. Obviously, you liked it. You're back. And then at the end of the class, they'll say, wow, there were some things in there that I had totally forgotten that you had said. And maybe it wasn't applicable to them at that point. They hadn't started to see those failures come in and now they are, and they're reminded of it. Or it could be I didn't even talk about it the last time I did that class because the class evolves, right? As you said, new case studies, new examples. When Monday through Friday, I'm working on cars and then on the weekends teaching about it, the class I teach is definitely going to be different 2 years later because I have 2 more years of experience in that time. So, yeah.
The forgetting curve. There's this 30-day window. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And I don't believe it is 100% practical to come out of a 2 or 3 or 4 hour, even an 8-hour class with a book, all kinds of screenshots and notes and to-do lists, and believe you're going to use everything that you learned. And I think that goes back to the fact that repeating is so critical, and going out and just trying to use as much as you possibly can within the 30 to 45 days afterwards. I mean, I'm sure you tell that to your students at the end of the class.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Use this. Please go out and use this. Let's talk about getting to the conference. We have the URL ASCCA/training conference. There it is. It's up on the screen now. But
Yeah.
even if not, just go to ASCCA.com. It's right on the homepage.
Yes.
And sign up. You could download this incredible, great handout on all the courses. And is there a place to register for the different classes?
It would be during the registration process. So, you
good,
click
good.
register for event, and depending on whether you're a member or not, you go through the channels and click the boxes, and then you will select the individual classes that you want for the event.
Luke, how many shut the shop down and just bring the whole place?
It's a decent number. I think that every year that number gets bigger, regardless of the event, right? So I think you could ask this same question to an organizer of any event in this country, in our industry? And the answer would be every year more and more. I think a shop owner goes 1 year, and then the next year they say, wow, that was great. I'm bringing my lead tech. And
Right.
then the next year, the lead tech's like, wow, that was fantastic. And they say, you know what? We're shutting it down. We're
Yeah.
bringing the whole shop out. Yeah.
It's amazing how that is becoming mainstay.
Mm-hmm.
I've done podcasts with shop owners that will tell us how much they spend, how many people they bring, and why they shut the shop down, and how the customers, as long as they know a few, weeks ahead and we don't book any work on them days, the customers realize, hey, we've got to go to training. These cars, the technology is moving so much faster. There's empathy out there because people realize that it doesn't matter what tech they have, if it's their phone, if it's their car, who can keep up?
Yeah.
And so to see that a shop is investing their people and investing their people with their time and in their money, I think it's an important thing. ASCCA.com is the website. Even if you're a non-member out in California or neighboring states, decide to get there. Now, is Costa Mesa in the center of the state?
No, it is not. Costa Mesa would be in Southern California. So it's just south of LA, Orange County. The coast, cities that would be nearby, Huntington Beach, Santa Anaheim, down in that region. But that's where it is. I believe next year the event will be in Northern California, or at least what we refer to as Northern California. I think most people assume that San Francisco is at the top of the state, but it's closer to the middle of the state. There's a whole area above Sacramento to the Oregon border that is largely forgotten. But to answer your question,
God's country up there. It's just
it
gorgeous.
sure is.
Oh.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
If I lived in Northern or in San Fran, would I take a plane down to LA then?
You certainly could.
But how long's the drive?
Would. Oh, that's a really good question. I think it depends on when you go, just based on traffic. I live 4.5 hours south of the Bay Area, and then it's going to take me another 3 hours to get to Costa Mesa. So you're talking about 8 hours to drive from the Bay Area to Costa Mesa if you did it. But that number could shift plus or minus an hour or two easy based on traffic.
I got it. Yeah. That's like I live in Buffalo. When people say, oh, I live in New York. Oh, New York. I live in Buffalo.
Yes.
And they say, oh, okay. And they don't realize how big New York State is also. I mean, that's an 8-hour drive for me from Buffalo to go to New York City. Yeah, it's a pretty big state, just like California is. So what are your goals and aspirations? I mean, are you looking for, is there still room in the hotel? Help us understand where we're headed.
There is still room. The event is not sold out. We're getting there. I think last numbers, we were somewhere between 60 and 75% capacity at this state. Definitely room for attendance. As far as our goals are to see our member base get something out of this, right? Yeah. This is ultimately to benefit our member base. And so if that training can be taken back to the shop and applied immediately to allow shops and technicians to be more successful in their jobs and their businesses, then I believe we've met our goal. That is our goal.
I'm a member. It's a great association. Yeah. Gloria Peterson is your, lead out there. Who's our current president?
Current president is Lee Chesnin, I believe is how his last name is pronounced. Certainly how it's spelled. ASCCA finds itself in a really unique position with Lee as our current president because Lee retired and closed down his shop right at the beginning of his term. And so for the first time ever, ASCCA has a president who's retired, which is, I think, incredible because that means Lee has time, right? Lee has time to get stuff done.
I was thinking he's in everybody's junk, huh? Well, he's going to run his shop. He'll email us once a week. Now he's probably emailing everyone. You know what? Wow. You guys should change your rules and says anybody who's going to be president has to be retired. Anyway, that's a cool concept. I mean, ASCCA could see some incredible movement this year by the fact that Lee could just get out and get into the face of so many guys that are on the fence of wanting to join.
Absolutely, right?
A lot of times that's what it takes. I remember being involved in associations and being on board of directors, and they say, all right, whatever portion of the state you're from, could you go out and knock on some doors and say, hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help, right? I'm from your association. And it really works because people always seem to have a great intention of wanting to join an association. Luke, we're all in this starved, time warped life. Yeah. It's going by so fast. Sneeze a day goes by, cough a week goes by. I mean, that's just how life is. And we need to almost be interrupters into someone's life by Lee knocking on someone's door and saying, Lee, what are you doing here? Sign you up. I'm here to sign you up.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on and giving us an idea of what's going on. I mean, we should not be giving a list of everything that's going on. Everyone can see this on ASCCA.com or / training conference and see it. September 8th through the 10th, 2023, the Clown Plaza, Costa Mesa. It's the 2023 ASCCA Annual Training Conference, expanded this year. Good fundraiser going on, great banquet, a lot of great sponsors. And I think the topics that you've picked in the training sessions, they're envious. They're top tier, top notch stuff.
Oh, I'm very excited about it. And then if you're in a shop in Southern California, in California in general, right, and you're considering joining, right now you can sign up for forgive me for not knowing the term here, it's a temporary membership or an introductory membership rate,
That's
right?
great.
So we have that going on right now. So you can join at no cost, see what ASCCA is like, see if it's worth it, get all of the advantages, including the membership rate for this event. So if for no other reason, you do it to get the discount and attend the event, find out what it's like. And then on Sunday afternoon, so we commence with training at lunch on Sunday. We have Sunday morning classes. And then Sunday afternoon, the board and the committees, they get together for meetings, and you can sit in on that and watch it, get to know the membership base, get to know the leadership base, and witness firsthand how it works. If you're already a member and you haven't been actively involved in the association and you'd like to get to know what it's about, here's a great opportunity to immediately get value for signing up because of the training, and then hang out for half a day and see what the leadership is like, maybe even join a committee.
I think that is one of the coolest things, is to be able to see the behind the scenes of a committee going on. These aren't figureheads. These are people that are passionate about the association and about the industry. And they always bring their A game to these committee meetings, always. And it's nice to be able to get that warm feeling that the association is always in great hands. Now, that introductory membership, I swear I talked to Carolyn Cocolet a couple of years ago when she first started as the president a couple of years ago. I think that was one of the things she wanted to do. And
that was Carolyn's initiative as the president. Yeah.
I remember that. And I think I got brain fade, but I can't believe I remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I got to trust myself a whole lot more. Well, it was great. We'll get this podcast out. Maybe we can motivate some people to want to get out there to Costa Mesa, ASCCA.com, and attend the conference this year. I believe in you guys. This is it's a great thing. Lots of good luck and success on expanding the conference.
Awesome. Thank you, Carm.
Good to have you on the show, Luke.
Likewise. Good to be here.
Yeah.